We just finished the indoor competition season and we flew straight back to Denver to keep working on the lot and the building. And we woke up to this morning, more than 20 deer just hanging around begging for food, even though they're definitely not hungry, because the neighbor in the Airbnb we always stayed at is this 90-year-old woman who feeds them every night. So every night at 5:30 p.m. the deer know it's dinner time and they come to hang out. So we're back here and we have two goals in the next couple weeks. We need to put in the temporary power so that we can have power while building the building, and we want to frame and finish the rebar for the footings of the building. There is going to be 8 of them, but they're not very deep. They shouldn't take too long, they shouldn't be too hard, and we should be able to finish both those projects and get the inspectors and engineers to sign them before we go back to Ohio. Hi guys, we're back in the lot for the first time in 5 months and we're about to turn the skid steer on, and it turned on for the first time in 5 months. And it is freezing outside. It's like -10. It was -23 yesterday and it turned on. Are you excited?
Now pray for the excavator.
I have low hopes for the excavator.
We're just getting our temporary power pole in so that we can get some electric to build our shop and our house with. Make it a little easier instead of running generators. We had to use the excavator to dig the hole because the soil is so rocky. Now we're just laying some conduit underneath and we'll come up and put a box here, just a 100 amps panel with a couple plugs in it.
Where is the box going?
The box will go 5.5 feet above ground.
Okay.
So we're just going to get these conduits lined up and glued together, and then we'll backfill this, and then we'll put the wire and box it.
Tell us how you feel about the rock.
Are you hilarious?
Do you prefer this or the spiders of Ohio?
The rock.
The rock.
I only have to dig it once, and then I'm done. The spiders are there every day.
But they hide and they don't bother us. Only once in a while they try to come in the house. I think it's good.
Alright, we're getting our power outlet box put in. We needed to have an expansion joint on here outside of the box apparently for settlement down and back and down. These things are pretty expensive for what they are. kind of suck to have to put one, and we might have to end up putting one on the other side too. But we'll try to get this box up and in here so that water doesn't get in it, and then tomorrow we can pull the wires and get everything wired up and hopefully have them come hook us up.
You're gonna need my help? Yes? Do I need to set this somewhere?
No, it's okay. Go ahead and start. Are you filming?
Yeah.
All of our screw guns are in Ohio right now, so I have to screw everything by hand. We don't have very many, so I didn't think it was that big of a deal.
Makes you tougher. Why didn't we take any from Do?
Because we only have like 3 screws.
What? What happened?
There needs to be a hole punched out of the bottom. I didn't punch the holes to keep the waterproof, and I should have done it before I hung the box. How many tools do you think I'm going to lose in the...
Oh, it's okay. We will find them next time when we're excavating. When we were digging for... What were we putting in? The electric?
Yeah, the conduit.
The conduit? We saw something weird, like 3 feet deep. And what was it?
Some earmuffs that you had gotten me for soundproofing. We had buried them when we built the road, apparently, when I was using the chainsaws I was using it.
Yeah,
I didn't even know they were missing.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden we found them, and we still have them now.
Yeah, and it's quite fun, you know? We hide some things, we dig them into the ground, and then we undig them, and it's on purpose, really.
Treasure finding.
Yeah. My hands are freezing.
We're almost there.
Is that the last thing to glue?
Yeah.
And then we have electric?
No, I've got to, tomorrow I got to get a piece for over here. I'll show you in a second what I overlooked. This never happens in construction.
No, we never have to go back and forth to the hardware store.
Hilarious.
It's starting to snow again. It's been going on and off the last hour or so. We're hoping it won't be too much and we can dig tomorrow.
Let me put the screws back in for this panel so we don't lose them. My hands are frozen.
Yes, I can now feel my hands.
This metal is not feeling good on me. Feels about like it's 9 p.m. and freezing, and it's really like 1.
Yeah. And only like -3, so I think that qualifies as freezing. I think I will soon drop the phone. I'm not sure that I'm holding it anymore.
Yesterday night when I was cutting the rebar, the phone shut off near my throat.
Yeah, both of our phones are dying because of the cold. They were like full today.
If either of us were smarter with technology, we could use the GoPro, but it's too hard to get the videos transferred. So. I'll have to take this back off tomorrow, just to put the wires back on.
Yeah, super efficient.
I will lose the screws if I don't put it back down.
Dun, dun.
Okay, we got the temporary power box up here. We haven't pulled the wire through yet, but show you what we got. It's just a 50 amp, a 30 amp, and a 20 amp. The 20's for just a regular 110 or 120, and then we got a 30 amp and 50 amp for RV plug-in, or probably a welder I'll probably need up here. So this box came actually from Amazon, and it came pre-wired with these already installed, so that's why we went with it. It was the easiest way to go. And then we have this expansion joint here, and I was under the impression that I would have to come into this box down under the ground over here and into here, but there's actually another port here I've got to come into, so my guess is I'm going to need another expansion joint on this side, and then we'll just wire this side up and they'll come put the plugs, and hopefully we have some power. Alright, I got the breakers installed and I started getting the wires cut and ready to put in. A little cold outside, so I'm afraid my electrical tape's just gonna break. Because it's aluminum wire, we have to put something called Nolax on. Keep it from corroding.
Everything's connected?
Yeah, just putting the ground rod in. We drove 2 ground rods yesterday. They have to be 8 feet deep.
One's here.
And
Where's the other one? Oh,
one here.
there.
And the other one's over there. A minimum of 6 feet apart, 8 feet deep.
Ooh, slippery. This is the ground wire.
This wire is the ground that goes over to our breakers from the meter box. And this wire is the one that will run down to the ground to ground the whole box. That's the ground rods. And we, like we said, we had bought this pre-wired panel that has a regular plug, a 30 amp and a 50 amp plug for welders or trailers or whatever we need to bring up here. So I think we're about all there. Half of the people have been building without temporary power, which sounds like a disaster, so it was worth a little time to do this. Not have to run generators all the time.
And have electricity for when the building is ready.
Yeah.
This is how you ground it.
Yeah, this is just a clamp to clamp the wire to the rod.
Why do I have to be so humble when the rest of the world doesn't care about a thing? It's such a waste of a generation due to nothing about the condition we're in. Saying, oh.
One more.
So the county has to come inspect how we
need to put the
set this up.
breakers in the meter pedestal, and then the county will come inspect if everything's okay, and then the electric company will turn on our power once we have that.
So the electric company doesn't come and do anything. They just turn on the power once they get the okay from the county.
They have to hook up their side of the breaker, and then, but everything else is in. We have the new transformer there, and the meter pedestal is there. Everything's ready. They have to put a meter in the box and then hook their side of the breaker up once the county inspects our side.
And is this box the same as what we will have when the building and the house are built?
The thing on the wood pole will be taken away. That's just a temporary box, but the other two pieces will stay, and we'll run a wire down to the building, just like we ran to this little temporary box, and then have a box similar to the...
And then one up to the house.
Yeah.
So there will be 2 more boxes eventually.
Put something on here so an animal doesn't get stuck in it, hopefully.
Oh yeah.
Alright. We're done! Maybe if I don't forget my tools.
Maybe we bury them and we find them again in the future. Okay, so we have tried to get rid of as much snow as possible, and now we're using this machine. What's the name of it? Transit, to figure out where the 4 edges of the building are. There's one stake down already, is our starting point. Oh, you can't really see anything. Alright. Okay, so we have run into an unexpected problem with our 1970 telescope. There are 2 bubbles. Where is the bubbles?
Over there.
There are 2 bubbles here and here that need to be centered. And every time we move one, the other one goes away from center. We are not sure if this has something to do with the technology. It is super touchy.
It's the only thing to do. You don't have to look no further, 'cause I take care of it for you.
Mitch is over there. He's trying to level the leveling machine with a level. We think we're close enough, but now we have to do it on this side to be sure that the distances are right. I'm sure when people watch this, they're gonna wonder how in the world we're gonna build our own building. But these are the kind of things we're not good at. We're good with the big things. Did you expect this to be this difficult?
I expected to use the machine to be more difficult, to get it level to be less difficult. So on the one hand, I very much like how the machine works if we can get it level.
Do you think we can find the 1900 instructions? What language do you think they're written in? We did it! Ah! Yes! We squared off the building! Woohoo! The last sun rays of the day. And we just turned the excavator on to take it down to the building site and maybe try to dig the first footing. We are a little worried about the first 2 footings. We have already dug like 9 feet right there, so who knows how many rocks we hit, but we only have to go 3 feet deeper, so hopefully we'll be okay. Okay, I think we've reached the depth we wanted at one spot, so now Mitch is starting to dig the rest of the straight line. This is the one side of the building. So I'm in the car, it is freezing outside and Mitch is still digging the same line. I think we have been hitting some rocks. He's slowly chipping away, but it's definitely not the easiest dig we've ever had. We knew this part would be very difficult. I'm glad that we haven't hit something yet that we don't think we can work through, but it is taking way longer than I expected. Mitch expects that pink square is going to be a tough one, but the rest ones probably not because they're mostly fill. I am sitting in the car because I cannot handle the cold anymore. Okay, it's now getting darker and it's getting really cold even in the car, and I don't want to turn it on again because I had it on for a very long time and haven't moved it, and Mitch is still digging the same thing. Let me show you. Progress at least. Ah.